Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, when I talk about learning English, I am not merely talking about a language. I am talking about transformation. There was a time in my life when I felt small whenever I tried to speak English. My tongue felt heavy, my mind would freeze, and my heart would whisper, maybe this is not for me. I remember standing before people, wanting to express an idea burning in my heart, but the words just wouldn't come. The frustration was real, not because I lacked intelligence, but because I lacked a system. Then one day it struck me. I had been waiting for motivation instead of building discipline. Improvement, I realized, doesn't come from the desire to change. It comes from the decision to act daily. Just like prayer strengthens your spirit, daily effort strengthens your skill. You see, no one becomes fluent by accident. It's a choice, made one small step at a time. I began with what seemed too small to matter. Just 10 minutes. 10 minutes of English every morning. I listened to one English sermon as I ate breakfast. I repeated one phrase while walking to the bus. I watched one short video and tried to copy the speaker's tone. At night, I wrote one paragraph in a small notebook. Not perfect, but mine. That notebook became sacred to me. Every page told a story of persistence. It was my altar of progress, where I placed my daily offering of consistency. At first, nothing seemed to change. But slowly, quietly, something began to move inside me. I noticed I could understand a few more words. I caught myself thinking in English for the first time. My tongue loosened, my confidence grew. I didn't become fluent overnight, but every day I felt myself stepping closer to it. And then I understood. English is not about talent. It's about rhythm. It's about routine. Like a plant that drinks a little water every day, not a flood once a month. It's about feeding your mind with the sound of the language, the feeling of it, until it becomes a part of you. So when I tell you, start small, it's not because I doubt your ability, it's because I know your strength. The most powerful transformations always begin quietly. One step, one word, one act of faith at a time. And if you can give just 10 minutes a day, not as a task, but as an act of belief in yourself, you will one day look back and realize that those small, ordinary moments were the building blocks of something extraordinary. My friends, I want you to hear this with your heart. Learning English is not a mystery, it's a process. And this process can be built on 3 simple daily habits that turn ordinary moments into divine opportunities for growth. You don't need fancy courses or perfect conditions. What you need is the will to stay faithful to a small, consistent plan. When I began, I told myself, if I can feed my body every day, I can feed my mind too. And that's when I found the first key, to listen daily. Listening is the foundation of language, because your ears teach your tongue what your mind cannot yet explain. Every morning, I would put on an English podcast or sermon while making breakfast. Sometimes I didn't understand half of what was said, but I let the rhythm, the melody, and the emotion of the words soak into me. It's just like a child who listens before speaking. The sound becomes familiar long before meaning becomes clear. Your subconscious starts building the patterns even when you're not aware of it. Then came the second key, to speak boldly. This is where most people hesitate, because fear whispers, what if I make a mistake? But let me tell you something. Every mistake is proof that you are trying. No one learned to walk without falling. I used to talk to myself in English while doing simple tasks, while cooking, cleaning, or walking to work. I would describe what I saw, what I felt, what I planned to do. Slowly, speaking became natural. It wasn't about grammar anymore. It was about expression, about connecting my thoughts to my voice. I remember one day when someone complimented my pronunciation. I didn't realize that all those small private conversations with myself had built confidence I never thought I'd have. The third key, read and write consistently. Reading feeds your mind, and writing gives your soul a voice. At first, I started with small passages, short articles, Bible verses, or motivational quotes. I'd write them down and then rewrite them in my own words. When I didn't know a word, I would look it up and use it in a sentence. Over time, my vocabulary grew naturally. Writing helped me organize my thoughts. It's a mirror that shows how much progress you've made and how far you can still go. These 3 habits, listening, speaking, reading, and writing, may look simple, but they are powerful tools. Like a threefold cord that cannot easily be broken, they strengthen one another. Listening builds understanding. Speaking builds confidence. Reading builds vocabulary. Writing builds clarity. When you do them together, even for 10 or 15 minutes a day, they create momentum that carries you forward. The truth is, learning English is not about chasing perfection. It's about building relationship. Relationship with the words, with the sounds, with the spirit of the language. When you listen, you receive. When you speak, you give. When you read, you grow. When you write, you reflect. Each day becomes a conversation between who you are and who you're becoming. And that, my friends, is how transformation begins, one faithful step at a time. And now, dear friends, let me speak from the heart. When I say build your routine and let your routine build you, I mean it with every ounce of experience and faith within me. There is power in small, steady action, more power than in any burst of short-lived motivation. Many people start with passion and end with excuses. But those who commit to small daily effort, even when no one is watching, they are the ones who witness miracles. I remember telling myself once, oh, what difference will 10 minutes make? But that 10 minutes became 20, then 30. And soon I realized it wasn't the length of time that mattered. It was the consistency. It was faithfulness in the small things. You see, God never asks you to do everything in one day. He asks you to do something every day. It's the same with English. You don't need to conquer the whole language. You just need to win today. Read a little. Listen a little. Speak a little. Write a little. Let each act become a seed planted in the soil of your future fluency. Imagine yourself 1 year from now. You wake up and speak naturally in English without fear or hesitation. You understand movies without subtitles. You read books and feel their meaning, not just their words. You write messages that flow with confidence and clarity. And most importantly, you look back and realize that it all began with a small, humble daily routine, one you almost thought was too simple to work. That is the beauty of consistency. It turns effort into excellence. But you must decide. Not tomorrow, not next week, but now. Because every day you delay, your dream drifts one step further away. Tell yourself, I will not wait for confidence to come to me. I will create it by showing up every day. You see, faith without action is empty, and learning without practice is powerless. When you move even just a little, heaven moves with you. Doors open, opportunities appear, and the fear that once held you captive begins to fade away. Some days will feel heavy. Some mornings you'll be tired, your mind distracted, your spirit weak. But that's exactly when you must remind yourself, this is not about perfection. This is about persistence. Even if all you can do is listen to 5 minutes of English, do it. Even if all you can write is 2 sentences, write them. Even if your pronunciation stumbles, speak anyway. Every small act is a declaration of faith, faith that your effort matters, that your growth is coming, that your dream is worth it. Because the truth is, God does not bless the one who starts strong. He blesses the one who finishes faithfully. When you water your dream daily, even with tears, it will one day bloom into something greater than you imagined. English will no longer be just a skill. It will become a symbol, a testimony of your endurance, your belief, your transformation. So when you wake up tomorrow morning, don't ask yourself, can I do this? Ask instead, will I give my best today? And let the answer be yes, every day, without fail. Because each yes is a step toward the version of yourself that already exists in your heart, fluent, confident, and free. Keep walking, my friend. Keep believing. Keep building that simple routine. For one day, the world will hear you speak. And they will not just hear your English, they will hear your story. A story of faith, patience, and victory.